Got a little traffic this morning. Look at this monster. Fireboat. So we went ahead and brought her to a full stop. We will let LA Fireboat 2 past us before we pop out. They actually stopped for us, but I went ahead and waved them past us. Saturday, May 13th, it's about 20 till noon. Just heading out of Cabrillo Way Marina into the basin for LA Harbor. Got a little bit of haze out here, a little bit of morning fog, so I'm still optimistic that this is going to burn off a bit. First mission is going to be to get to the fuel dock and go ahead and top things off. All right, pop quiz. Who has the right of way? We're both under power of this boat on my port, or us? Well, the answer is us. So we are both motoring. He is on my port side, I'm on his starboard. Of course, I didn't film it. I backed in perfectly into the dock. We had a little bit of crosswind, so I decided to back it up. So I parked on the windward side, which made it a little bit more difficult getting off the dock there. That was pretty smooth. I think I took on 27.8 gallons of diesel, so a little less than I was thinking, but I guess when I look at the numbers, that's probably going to be about right. Now, I didn't run the fuel up until the fuel started spitting out the vent, so I could pee a little less than that. That's okay. A little bit more traffic in LA Harbor here. Looked like these guys were getting towed in, but now they're under power, so maybe their engine's stalled. Look at these guys are actually harbor patrol, not vessel assist. The guy's sitting almost right at the entrance. He's moving now, and this guy's trying to get home as fast as he can. These guys have a person in the water. What the fuck is going on here? Diver right at the mouth of LA Harbor.
Hyundai Pluto, Pacific Alliance 13.
And another guy yelling. Love it. These guys got their anchors swinging. Another guy's screaming from the back, and there's a diver in the back of the water there. Right at the entrance to LA Harbor, and they had two powerboat cruisers both coming up pretty fast, flanking them on both sides. So unless this guy accidentally fell overboard or was pushed, I don't know what the hell they'd be doing diving right here. This is just about probably one of the dumbest places possible. These guys are doing it right, sailing. Jay, that's a mola mola. Oh. Look, Jay, see that fin right there? That is a mola mola. .8 miles away, I believe, way out there in the distance, is the Hyundai Pluto, and I can see it from here. So it looks like I've got 5 miles viz. Got a little hitchhiker here. Take a look at AIS. Here's us. There's the shipping lanes. You can see the buffer zone here in the traffic separation scheme, and then over to starboard, coming southbound, is the Petrol Arrow. Petrol Arrow is a 210 meter cargo ship, 36 meter beam, and their CPA is less than a mile, and TCPA says 33 minutes, 34 minutes. They're doing about 10.5 knots. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to starboard and just make sure that we're well clear of their stern. So we'll head starboard for about 15 minutes, maybe Maybe we'll take 40 degrees, 50 degrees to starboard. We'll stay within the buffer zone for sure here. We're gonna make sure we have plenty of room. But now you can see this dark line. This dark line coming from our boat is where we're headed, and that's the ship. As he starts to pass us, and we're pointed at his stern, we'll keep pointing at his stern, and then we'll just keep going to port, and we'll cut in behind him. I like what our situation is right now. I can actually visually see the petrol arrow. It's about 5.8 nautical miles away. So I've got a visual, and we're headed port to port. So unless they make any weird changes or anything like that, we're good. So look at this old school Raytheon R20XX raster scan. So it looks like there's a small blip in front of us, a little one. And then this is on 6 mile range. So there's a boat, there's a blip that keeps popping up for port quarter. Maybe 2.5 miles away. One right in front of us, and then a large contact a little less than 6 miles out. So now let's go take a look and see what we see outside, eh? Behind us, this is what's been on our radar contact, is this little bird right here who's been hitching a ride. Here's that small contact that was pretty close. So he's coming up on radar, and then I can see the large ship further out. Petrol arrow, a little less than 1 nautical mile. I'm just gonna cut right past the stern. Almost 230. We're about 10 nautical miles. Nice thing, you actually see a little wind line coming. There's been no wind. You see a little bit of a breeze on the water. It's a little bit. You look further into the distance, you can see the little dip there on Catalina. That's where we're headed. Got some really slow moving dolphins in front of us. Very well could be Risso's dolphins. They tend to like to swim slowly in kind of a wide pod. So they just kind of slowly cruise. I think those were Rissos. All right, about 5 till 4 p.m. There's Ship Rock over to starboard. Here's Bird Rock over to port. All right, we're in deep. Anchor's down. Let's see how far we're in. Looks like 101 feet. Phew! That's fine. We'll hold. We got plenty of room. We're in the middle of the damn harbor here, though. Screw it. All right, it's time for another episode of Cooking with Motherfucker. All right, it's time for another episode of Cooking with Keeldragger. We're gonna make another Omnia oven pizza. This time, we're actually we're gonna try this Prego pizza sauce, bold and spicy. And then I have the Pillsbury crust. So this is the most synthetic pizza you've ever seen in your life. Some turkey sausage crumbles, so it's more of a breakfast sausage probably, but that's okay. And we have some mozzarella cheese. We'll throw in a couple of jalapenos, not too many, and then a few manzanilla olives, green olives. All right, here she is. Let's put the lid on.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
10 after 5. Captain's hours. Cheers. Oh, garden. Okay, 5:37. Let's take a look. See what we have. Look at that. Don't look too bad. Pretty peaceful night at the anchorage. Not too rolly here. We didn't move at all, as I expected, even though we're sitting in 100 feet of water. Some of my friends freak out when I'm anchoring that deep, but do it all the time. If it were blowing, we'd be in shallower water, or we'd be at a mooring. So I need to do something with the breaker here. I don't know how many amps this old breaker's rated for. It's popped a couple times. Well, the windlass is under load, so it's not a windlass issue. It's for sure a breaker issue, so we'll take care of that. Easy enough. But it's not something I want to deal with in a crowded anchorage. And I see the anchor. Yoo, look at that. Angles Gate, here we come. Adios, Two Harbors. Kind of a weird deal. So we've got wind coming from the southeast, about 60 degrees apparent now as we're motoring. So I'm seeing almost 12 knots, a little bit of wind. I think there's enough for us to start thinking about putting up the sail. Might be good enough for us to just sail for a while. I'll have to put the Starlink up. We'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll get ready to get the main out. Always easier to do this stuff while you're an anchor. The dock can get completely rigged for sailing. Based on the forecast, I didn't think we were going to have anything really much to sail with. All right, we got 15 apparent. Engine is off. Quick to reverse to get the folding propeller unlocked. Okay, we're doing 6 knots under sail. Pleasant surprise. Maybe the wind will carry us all the way over. We'll find out. Not too shabby. We got a nice little breeze here. Full canvas up. Two Harbors in our background, and we're sailing just a hair under 7 knots, making great speed. Love it. 7 a.m. update. We're still sailing along, doing a little over 6.5 average and about 13.5 apparent. A lot of southeast in this wind, not the usual wind direction, but it's good for us. We're maybe it's even a little bit more east than anything else, which is fine. We're on a course of 030 degrees, and that's pretty close to the waypoint for Angel's Gate, just outside of Angel's Gate. So as long as we're making these speeds, we'll keep the engine off. We have about a little over 6 miles, about 6.4 miles to the shipping lanes, and everything's clear at the moment. closer to 7, occasionally bumping above 7. High 6s at the moment. We are making great speed. At this rate, we'll get to Angel's Gate before 9:30. A little skeptical that the wind's going to hold up all the way across, but who knows? We're up 13 miles to Angel's Gate. I'm looking at the chart here. I don't see any traffic of concern yet. We got a ship over here in the shipping lanes. Nothing right now, but you know, stuff could easily come out by the time we get there. Right on. 7:45. Slowing down a little bit. We're gonna probably light up the engine here pretty soon. So we're a little bit more time bound today. I'm gonna try and make it down to Mother's Day festivities. Of course, as soon as I threatened to start the engine, we started pushing a little faster. Now we're doing about 6 knots. We'll keep sailing. All right, about 8:30. We're gonna motor sail. The engine's died down a little bit. We're actually kind of in the buffer zone right here, in between the shipping lanes. Doesn't really matter because we don't have to worry about any southbound ships at this point. I don't think we've got anything on AIS a little bit. So the main concern now will be keeping an eye on anything coming out of Los Angeles Harbor here. There's the Scripps Wave Rider buoy. Man, I sit down for, I would say, about 30 seconds, and here's where it's at on the chart. Sure enough, I almost hit that son of a gun. 9:15 a.m., all sails are down. We are heading into Angel's Gate.